Wow, look at this background, my friends. I love the background. You see this? Look at the chaos. And you see all those little looks like up on the top there. Looks like you're watching something that has to do with Ghostbusters. Must have been a very, very unbelievable experience with Sodom. So now it takes us into this chapter 19, which has to do with the city of Sodom. Not good, by the way. This is a bad situation for Sodom. And I would have to say that Abraham in the previous chapter was doing his best to save the people of Lot. Now, I don't know if the angels found five, which were mentioned in the last chapter, or am I recording? Yes, I think I'm recording. Good. I've done this before. I've recorded the chapter, and what happens is I find out that it's not recording. This is going to be chapter 19. And it says here, two angels. Two angels are going to visit, probably two of those three angels. I wonder who the third angel was. Could that have been Jesus and his two helpers? His two angels he tells to go down and take care of business. And there came two angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself within his face towards the ground. So he must be able to tell that they were special beings from another location. And he said, Behold, now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early and go on your way. And they said, Nay, that's not what they were going to do. But we will abide in the street all night. All night you're going to be out in the street. And he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him and entered into his house, and he made them a feast. And he did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. Well, in verse 4, the town's not very happy about this, but before they could lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house around, both old and young, all the young people from every quarter. And they called unto Lot and said unto him, Where are those men which came into the city, into the city this night? Bring them out unto us. We want to see them. We want to meet them. We want to know them. Because remember, this was a very, very sexually evil town, doing a lot of crazy things that you're not supposed to do. And Lot went out of the door unto them and shut the door after him. And he said, I pray you, brethren, do not be so wicked. Behold, now I have two daughters, which I have not known men. Let me, I pray you, bring them unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes, and only unto those men do nothing. For therefore came thee under the shadows of my roof. Means he's protecting them. But his daughters, these guys out there, I don't have words for them, but definitely not who you want your daughters with. And the angels, the beings from God, I would assume they could take care of themselves. Angels were not no kick in the bucket. They were God's warriors. And to go against God's warrior means you got a problem. And I don't think they needed to consider, being sexually abusive to his daughter. So, and they said, stand back. And they said again, this is one fellow came into your sojourn, and he will need to be a judge. Now, we will deal worse with thee, talking about Lot, than with them. And they pressed sore upon the man, and even Lot, and he came near to break in the door. But the men put forth their hands and pulled the Lot into the house to them. and shut the door. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. And the men said unto Lot, haste thou here any besides son-in-law. Have you any son-in-laws here? And thy sons and thy daughters, and whatever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place. Bring them out of this city. For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxen, probably meaning bad, great before the face of God, the Lord. And the Lord has sent us to destroy it. He's tired. Not going to flood it, but he's going to destroy it. For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of the Lord. And the Lot went out and spake unto his son-in-law, which married his daughter, and said, Up, get you out of this place, for the Lord will destroy this city. But this seemed as one mocked his sons-in-law. Well, it doesn't sound like they're coming. Well, Lot delivered, and in 15, and when the morning arose, then the angels hastened to Lot and saying, Arise, take your wife, take your 2 daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hands, and upon the hands of his wife, and upon the hands of his 2 daughters, and the Lord being merciful unto him, and they brought him forth and set him without the city, meaning outside the city. Well, and it came to pass, when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, Escape with your life. Look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain, except to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. God didn't want him to look back and see how bad this was, and see all of the unbelievable things that were getting ready to happen. Behold, no, 18, and Lot said unto them, Oh, not so, my Lord. Behold, now thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast showed upon me in saving my life. And I cannot escape to the mountains, lest some evil takes me and I die. Behold, now the city is near to thee and it is a little one. And he's looking for a place to hide, This is getting ready to be bad, Sodom's going to have a really problem getting ready to happen. Now let me escape thither to that city, and my soul shall live. And he said unto him, See, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow this city for which thou hast spoken. The angels are trying to say it'll be good. They're not going to destroy that city. That's a good place. You can go there and hang out. Haste thee, escape thither to there, for I cannot do anything till you and your family become thither there. Well, therefore, the name of the city was called Zoar. And Zoar, the sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. Wow, I wonder what's getting ready to happen. My goodness. Wow. Chapter 19, we're on. Verse 24, by the way. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of the heaven, and he overthrew those cities and all the plains and all the inhabitants of the city that which grew upon the ground. But his wife, sometimes we don't learn. Leave it to God. God will take care of us, but we just don't believe. We have to look at. Maybe he wasn't telling me the story that people told me. Maybe it wasn't real. Maybe they're not going to blow up something. You just got to take a peek. Well, you know what? You know what? Let's see. Yeah, I think it was right here. Verse 26. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. And Abraham got up early in the morning to place where he stood before the Lord. And he looked towards Sodom and Gomorrah and towards all the lands of the plain and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace. And it came to pass when God destroyed the cities of the plain that God remembered Abraham and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow when he overthrew the cities in which Lot dwelt. So it was kind enough that they made sure that Abraham's brother's son, Lot, had a chance to get out of Sodom because he was good in nature earlier. He probably still had that specialness inside of him. Well, Lot and his two daughters, and everybody is on their way out. And Lot went up out of Zorah and dwelt in the mountains, his two daughters with him, for he feared to dwell in the Zar, and he dwelt in a cave, he and his two daughters. Now, verse 31. And the firstborn, first daughter, said unto the younger, our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come in unto us to make love with him, to have babies and stuff. After that manner of all this earth, come, let us make our father drunk with wine. Children making their daughters making their father drunk, and he will lie with us, with we may preserve seeds of our father. They can have children. Oh, what they do sometimes, youth. Well, what are you going to do? I mean, the world has just got your city's blown up. Your potential to be husbands are gone. The world is in chaos. And they made their father drink wine that night. And the firstborn went in and laid with her father. And he perceived not that he perceived not when he laid down, nor when she arose. He didn't know it was his daughter. And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said unto the younger, behold, I lay yesterday night with my father, your father. Let us make him drink wine again this night also. Let us make him drink wine that night also, and go thou in and lay with him, that we may preserve seeds of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night also, and the younger arose and laid with him. And he perceived not when she lay down, and nor when she arose. Thus were both daughters of Lot with a child by their father. And the firstborn bare a son, and called his name Moab. The same name is the father of the Moabites. We hear later on, we're going to talk about the Moabites and the nation unto this child. So the first child of the oldest daughter of Lot is the father to Moabites. That's an interesting to remember. And the younger also has a son, and called his name Penami. That is the same is the father of the children of the Ammons and Ammons unto that day. Well, chapter 19 went pretty fast. And Sodom is now gone, and Gomorrah is gone, flat. Kind of near that place, they supposed to be a lot of salt out there, probably because of this annihilation. But imagine what it must have been like by the fire coming down from heaven, coming down right onto those cities. And then more so, the unbelief of Lot's wife. Maybe that's why Lot's wife is not mentioned in the Bible. Maybe because what she did was wrong. I don't know. I don't know. Well, that's the end of chapter 19. And if you have not marked my subscribe button yet, please do so you can hear the next hearing. May God be with you. May the Lord bless you, Mr. D.